This is another response to the pro-life guy. I'm sorry, but you're full of shit. I mean, really, I've never seen such crap spouted out of either just complete ignorance, or the desire to mislead, or, in other words, lie to people. So, I mean, really, I've got the whole bill right here in my hand, and there should be a link in the sidebar here. I'll try and remember to put that up. But you know what? I'm just going to read the whole thing to you, just to get just to clear the air. I don't even need to go through all the I mean notes. I don't even need to go through all the crap that you spouted, because it's all, almost all of it is covered or negated in the bill itself, if you can actually read it. So here it goes. The Freedom of Choice Act. The United States was founded on the principles of individual liberty, personal privacy, and equality. Such principles ensure that each individual is free to make the most intimate decisions, free from government interference and discrimination. A woman's decision to commence, prevent, continue, or terminate a pregnancy is one of the most intimate decisions an individual ever faces. As such, reproductive health decisions are best made by the woman in consultation with her medical provider or loved ones, without governmental interference. In 1965, in Griswold v. Connecticut, and in 1973, in Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, the Supreme Court recognized the right to privacy protected by the Constitution, and that such right encompassed the right of every woman to weigh the personal, moral, religious considerations involved in deciding whether to commence, prevent, or continue, or terminate a pregnancy. Here's a good one for you. The Roe v. Wade decision carefully balanced the rights of women to make important reproductive decisions with the state's interest in potential life. Under Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, a woman's right to choose to terminate her pregnancy is absolute only prior to fetal viability. Okay? With the state permitted to ban abortion after fetal viability, except when necessary to protect the life or health of a woman. Okay, so there goes a lot of the accusations. It's wonderful. So, moving on. These decisions have protected the health and lives of women in the United States. Prior to Roe v. Wade decision, an estimated 1.2 million women each year were forced to resort to illegal abortions despite the known hazards, and that included unsanitary conditions, incompetent treatment, infection, hemorrhage, disfiguration, and death. According to the estimate prior to 1973, almost everybody knows this one, as many as 5,000 women died each year from the United States from the result of having illegal abortions. This is the part where you talk about, you've talked about giving money to countries that perform abortions. Yay. So, and how wrong that is. In countries where abortions remain illegal, the risk of complications and maternal mortality is high. According to the World Health Organization, of the approximate 600,000 pregnancy-related deaths occurring annually around the world, 80,000 are associated with unsafe abortions. The Roe v. Wade decision explained the opportunities of women to participate equally in a society. In 1992, the Planned Parenthood versus Casey, the Supreme Court observed that the ability of women to participate equally in the economic and social life of the nation has been facilitated by their ability to control their reproductive lives. Even though the Roe v. Wade decision guaranteed the constitutional right to choose whether to terminate or continue a pregnancy, threats to that right remain. including possible reversal or further erosion by the Supreme Court of the right, and legislative and administrative policies at all levels of government that make abortion more difficult or dangerous to obtain. 87% of counties in the United States have no abortion provider. Legal barriers to the full range of reproductive services endanger the health and lives of women. Women should have meaningful access to reproductive health services to prevent unintended pregnancies, thereby reducing the need for abortions. And by the way, that is what Planned Parenthood is about, if you didn't know. To ensure that women's rights, a woman's right to choose whether to terminate a pregnancy is available to all women in the United States, federal protection of that right is necessary. Although Congress may not create constitutional rights without amending the Constitution, Congress may, where authorized by its enumerated powers and not prohibited by the Constitution, enact legislation to create and secure statutory rights in the areas of legitimate concern. Congress has affirmative action. Okay, I can skip number 15. Federal protection of a woman's right to choose to prevent or terminate a pregnancy falls within the affirmative power of Congress, in part because many women cross state lines to obtain abortions, and many more would be forced to do so absent a constitutional right or federal protection. Reproductive health services are commercial actors that regularly purchase medicine, medical equipment, and necessary supplies from out-of-state providers. And reproductive health clinics employ doctors, nurses, and other personnel who travel across state lines in order to provide reproductive health services to patients. Now, if all of that was a little too difficult for you, here's a simple statement of policy. It is a policy of the United States that every woman has the fundamental right to choose to bear a child, terminate a pregnancy prior to fetal viability, or to terminate a pregnancy after fetal viability when necessary to protect the life or health of the woman. Very simple, completely destroys almost everything that you can possibly, that you've thrown out and that you spouted the entire time. And there's more, but why do I need to go on? Really, in light of everything that I've just read, you are either A, incompetent, B, illiterate, which I like the idea of that, personally, or C, you are a liar. So which one is it?
Your methods are stupid! Your progress has been stupid! Your intelligence is stupid!